Welcome to a new reading vlog. I am so excited for this one. Also, it's such a beautiful day. I love this day. It's so beautiful. We had some bad storms roll through last night, but usually the next day after storms is so beautiful. The temperature is really good. It's just a good day. Anyways, I've seen this type of vlog floating around for a long time, but I just think it's such a really fun concept and I wanted to give it a try and see how it goes for me. But as you can tell by the title, we are reading a book. No, we are gonna be reading until I get a 5-star. Okay? We don't know how this is gonna go. Depending upon the length of this video, you probably know. You probably know. I think I'm just gonna mood read through this vlog because it's basically based on what you think will be a 5-star. But the first book I've already started. Thought, well, I'll just include it in this vlog because I am really liking it. I haven't talked about it anywhere else. My good friend Diane is a reader. She let me borrow her book, Trial and Error by Robert Whitlow. This is a Christian legal thriller. It's really good. It's really good. So I'm not gonna say much about it other than Diane told me that it's being made into a movie, or it has been made into a movie. And I think my husband will really enjoy a movie like this. So once I finish the book, we can have a movie night. It's basically following a small town lawyer whose name is Buddy, and he's basically on the search for his daughter, who he hasn't seen since she was an infant. He had a baby with a woman named Amber when he was like a teenager, I think like 19 or so. Then she disappeared with the baby. They don't know where she is. He's like always been kind of looking for her. But then another young teen girl goes missing in the community as he's looking for his daughter. I really, really like that this is set in like a smaller town. It's definitely got some drama. I can already tell there's hints of romance, nothing too heavy. It is a Christian book, and so I am really liking the faith aspects of it too. I will tell you, I'm not a huge legal thriller girly. Like, it's something that I've never really tried other than, I think I read The Firm by John Grisham, like way forever ago. When I watch a legal thriller movie, I always really, really like it. So I really think that this type of genre is one that I could really see myself enjoying a lot. I'm about 50% of the way through it. I don't know if it's gonna be a 5-star, but it could. You never know. And so shall we end this vlog here? I don't know. Thank you so much, Diane. I don't know if you watch my videos. She knows about them. Thank you. If you are watching, today I am going to take you to this little bookstore that I've never been to. I just learned about it from my friend Bethany over at Bethany's Bookshelf. This bookstore is chaotic and wonderful. That's what I'm hoping. Basically, in this bookstore, it's like just chaotic and amazing. I'm interested to see the prices of their books because I think it's kind of like a half-price books where people can sell their books back to them. such a fun bookstore. Oh my gosh. First of all, how did I not know that was there? But also, yay, because now I know. I wanted to show you what I got. The prices were pretty good there. I got Pin Hollow by Georgette Hare. I don't know, but look at this cover. Like, what? It literally only says, to reveal one shred of information about the characters or the plot would be a crime as black as any Georgette Hare could devise in her irresistible thrillers. If you didn't know, Georgette Hare is Hare. I'm just gonna say Hare. She was an author in like the 30s and 40s, I'm pretty sure. She wrote mysteries and also romances. Her romances are really well known. I am so happy that I found this. I also got The Last Sin Eater by Francine River. I didn't really even know much about it, but I think this was an award-winning one, the Gold Medallion Book Award. So, yay for that. I also found Murder, She Wrote. This one is A Fatal Feast. I've actually never read A Murder, She Wrote, but I love the show, okay? I love that show. And this one is set in Cabot Cove with Jessica Fletcher. Something's happening around Thanksgiving. And this cover is giving all the Thanksgiving feels. I'm just here for it. They had it and I got it. Okay, this one I was so happy to find because this is one that I've been wanting to get. Stranger in the Looking Glass. This is a carriage house antique mystery. This is Annie's fiction. It's like, kind of like Guidepost. There's so many in this series, but this is the first one, and this is the only one that they had. I was so happy to find it. I don't know anything about it, but antique shop mysteries. I'm here for it. And then A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. This one was only $5. I really think that I'm going to love Frederick Bachman. One that I really want to read is My Grandmother Told Me to Tell You I'm Sorry. It's like the longest title ever. But this was made into a show. Found family, finding people when you're lonely, all the things. It's following a man called Ove. He is very lonely and very grumpy. People come around him and try to make him not so lonely against his wishes. So I'm really excited. I've heard amazing things about this one, and I feel like I'm going to love Frederick Bachman's writing. I did read Anxious People by him, and I liked it. It was a weird story. Like, it was very weird, but I did like it. It was okay. It was not my favorite, but I feel like his writing style, I could get down with some more, you know? I also wanted to let you know, I am listening to the audiobook of this as well as reading it when I can, but I was listening to it when I was doing some errands today. Oh my goodness. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. The faith. Okay, I was just talking about the faith in here. It wasn't too intense, but I was really loving it. Well, something just happened. I think I'm like 60% in. Oh my gosh, like, I love what just happened, and I can't say because spoilers, but oh my, I love the character Gracie, and she is just the best. They're talking about how you're like living out their faith in a genuine way and how it should be. Like, we should be living it out. Like, it should come out naturally because it's who we are. And then something happens and I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so I finished Trial and Error. I don't have the book with me, but I loved it. I feel like it's not quite a 5-star, but it is a solid 4-star. You know what I'm saying? The family aspects, the relationship that ended up happening, I really, really liked. I just really enjoyed that part of it. I really enjoyed following our main character. Well, I guess like there wasn't a main character, but like the lawyer guy, I can't even remember his name right now because it's been a few days since I finished it. But I do want to pick up more of Robert Whitlow's stuff, writing books. Novels, that's the word. I feel like he would be one that I really like. The audiobook was amazing for this book. If you like John Grisham, Robert Whitlow kind of feels like a Christian John Grisham. in a lot of ways. Not quite as gruesome as some of John Grisham's like really intense stuff in his books. I don't know, they just felt similar to me. So solid 4 stars. But there is a quality of like that 5-star feeling. It's unexplainable. I don't know what it is. It just didn't have it. But it was a good book. So I do recommend it. We're moving on. I think that I'm going to pick up on my Kindle, because it's on Kindle Unlimited, Love in the Storm by Mandy Blake. My friend Caitlin loves Mandy Blake. I'm sure many of you have read Mandy Blake. I have never read a Mandy Blake before. I'm interested. She is a Christian romance writer. I've heard that her stuff is sweet and swoony. If I'm gonna like any romance, it's gonna be a sweet and swoony Christian romance. Let's just put it like that. I actually am 20% of the way through it, and I'm really liking it so far. Really liking it. We'll just have to wait and see. Oh, what is this about? This is about a woman named Lyric and a man named Asa. From the beginning, you know she has struggled with addiction in the past. She's like come out of it, and she's in, I don't know, maybe AA, and she has a, what are they called? Sponsor. That's it. Okay, she has a sponsor and everything, and she's really trying to pick herself up by her bootstraps, as it were. She has a million jobs she's trying to do. She's really trying to make it, basically survive. And she is so afraid that she's gonna make a mistake, that she's gonna lose her job, or people are in the town are gonna see her differently. She just is really hard on herself. She's in a cabin that she has a job where she cleans people's, like this woman's rental properties. She's in one of those when a huge blizzard hits this town. And so she really can't go anywhere. When all of a sudden she hears a loud noise outside and runs outside to find Asa, who is the male main character. He also has his own perspective, which I love. He is a single dad. Love that trope. A single dad who works too hard and loves his kids and never stops. You know what I'm saying? Reba. Y'all are aboard the weird train, okay? Like, this is me. But Asa gets into a wreck because a tree falls right on his truck, and he like bangs his head up, and she gets him into the cabin. So basically it's forced proximity into this cabin during a blizzard, and it's a Christian book. So we love to see a Christian forced proximity. I've never read that, so I'm excited. I'm really loving it. Part of me hopes that this isn't a 5-star because I want this vlog to keep going, like maybe one more book. But part of me thinks maybe it will be. I don't know. We'll see. But I am loving Mandy Blake's writing style. Like I said, I haven't read a Mandy Blake, and so it's awesome to get a little taste test of her writing style and stuff. You know me in romance, pretty picky. But this one has, what is it called? Not promises. Promise, right? This one has promise. Okay, it's been a minute since I've updated you on my reading journey with this vlog. I finished Love in the Storm. I really liked Mandy Blake's writing style. It was super easy to fly through. It was a good time. The thing I'm finding about myself, I am so picky about romance. Why am I so picky? Again, if you saw my like, am I a romance girly? I should have just remembered that. I think because I saw some of my really good friends reading these books and raving about them, I was like, I'm gonna love them too. And I liked them. Don't hear me wrong, I really like them. I think if you like Christian romance, this is like top tier probably, because the faith in it was so good. So good. That was something I loved about it. I think one of the reasons why I didn't fully like absolutely adore this book is because I'm finding that I'm not a serious romance person. I really need that witty banter, that humor involved. Like, I need a little more rom-com than serious romance. Does Does that make sense? Because this one definitely had heavier themes. These two main characters were just really serious people. I thought it was adorable. I thought it was done really well. And I really liked Mandy Blake's writing, like her style of writing. It was super easy to fly through. But for me, the romance itself just didn't hit because to me, it felt a little, slightly a little bit insta-lovey. Sometimes that doesn't bother me and sometimes it's like, I think it's like a 3.75 or a 4. There was a touch of insta-love, which the circumstances made sense because those two main characters get stuck at a cabin during a blizzard. Forced proximity I love, and I loved to see how Mandy Blake did this in a Christian romance, because normally if you have forced proximity or if you're like trapped in a cabin together, stuff is gonna go down, you know? It felt very refreshing to have something fun like forced proximity with a Christian lens. I really do recommend it, especially if you like more serious characters, serious romance. Really good faith in it. Coming to terms with like our worth as a person. I loved those themes. But for the reason of I need humor in my romance, that alone put it at a 4. So it just didn't have a 5-star feeling. I am so stinking picky about romance and I can't help it. I just can't help it. I just don't read it very often. I'm not a romance girly. Lauren, to future Lauren, don't. Just stop. Just stop reading romance. Okay, moving on. I need a mystery. I'm in a big mystery mood right now. And I kind of feel like this pull back to what I like to read, you know? Like, I don't know why I keep trying to go outside of my comfort zone with books, you know? Like, I know what I like. I like mysteries. I like Christian fiction. I really like biblical Christian fiction. So I went to the bookstore the other day and I didn't buy this book. I used to own this book, but I didn't rebuy it. So I'm proud of myself because I found it on my Libby app and they sent it to my Kindle. And I don't know if you know this, I'm sure most of you do, but if you rent an ebook on the Libby app, you can send it to your Kindle. And so I've been really into reading. I'm gonna spoil what I'm reading. I've been really into reading on my Kindle. I checked at the bookstore while I was there. I was like, okay, if my library has this, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm just gonna read it on my Kindle, and then if I like it, then I'll buy it for my library. And I feel really proud of myself, okay? Let's give a round of applause. It is Agatha Christie's The Body in the Library. I've been wanting to read this one for a really long time, and here we are. We're reading it. It's really short. I think it's like maybe just a touch over 200 pages long. It's a Miss Marple, which I don't know if you know this. Agatha Christie has her like detectives that she writes about. She has Tommy and Tuppence or something like that, which I know nothing about. She has Poirot, and then she has Miss Marple, and then obviously she has her standalones like And Then There Were None and all of that. But I love Agatha Christie. I think she's, I don't know, there's just something about her writing and the golden age mystery writing. I just love it. By the way, I really want to dip my toe more into the golden age mystery genre. So if you have any authors that you recommend from that time, like the 50s and 60s, let me know down below because I really want to try more and find out about this, you know, genre of mystery. But in the meantime, I'm going to be reading The Body in the Library, and I'm like 50% of the way in because it is so short. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So what this is about, it's this play on the trope in a lot of murder mysteries of the body in the library. Agatha Christie, at the very beginning, she wrote a foreword and she said that she wanted to play on that classic trope with a twist. And so the twist is that no one in this house knows who this woman is. I don't want to say much more past that, but It took like, I mean, Miss Marple showed up a couple of scenes, but it took like 45% of the way through this book for her to become like a main character in the book, which is, I think, was just kind of odd. I was enjoying my time throughout the whole thing, but I was like, where is Miss Marple? When is she gonna get in here? Because that's why I picked this book up, because I really want to make my way through Agatha Christie's Miss Marple books, because I just love her. I love her so much. She's just sassy and witty and unapologetic about what the truth is, and I love that. I am on page 129 right now. I'm 57% of the way through. I love reading on my Kindle because I'm just able to like boom, 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 boom. So far, it has the potential to be a 5-star. I find myself really wanting to go back to it and pick it up and read it, and so that's a good sign. There is just something about Agatha Christie's writing. I don't know. So this could end this vlog. I don't know. We'll have to see. It is later the same day. It's actually Memorial Day, so we hung out. I was able to read, and I finished the book. And wow, I have a lot of thoughts. I really like this book, but there were some things in it that did kind of bug me. Just like commentary, and I know it's a product of its time, okay? I think this was written in the 40s, like 1942 or something. There was just a lot of comment on class, viewing different people differently because of the class that they're in, the types of people they are. I don't want to say too much. Even Miss Marple having certain thoughts, I recognize that it's just kind of par for the course for the time. And also even Agatha Christie in her class, the more genteel, you know, status, if you will, but you could just feel some prejudices coming out. Not necessarily with race, a little bit with race, but more having to do with viewing people as less than, or like less worthy of a human if they're not of a certain class or a certain rank, and then just viewing others as like innocent and good, and like you don't question them if they're of a higher ranking. It was just interesting to read. That really was the only, oh, and Miss Marple is seen as like the cozier of, as far as like cozy mystery, if you will. I wouldn't classify Agatha Christie as like a cozy mystery author per se, but her Miss Marple books are seen as a little bit more cozy than the Poirot series, just because Poirot is like traveling worldwide and doing all the adventuring and all the things, and Marple is more insulated. It's very much like a village, and you know the same people. It just feels a lot more insular. But this one did not feel super cozy because there was some pretty intense violence, and not on page, but definitely just the way that people died was pretty intense. I really did enjoy the mystery, but some parts I was like, what? Like, you would really do that for, I don't know, it just felt really extreme in what happened. But honestly, I really did enjoy it. I didn't want to put it down. When I wasn't reading it, I kept thinking about it, trying to figure it out. I wanted to know what was going on. So I really did enjoy it, and it was really short. I think this is one of her shortest novels. I think I'm gonna land at a 4.5. So we still have not read a 5-star book, and we're going into our 4th book of this vlog. I thought that this one might be a 5-star for a long time, but like as I'm thinking about it tonight, I'm just like, there were just some things that I just feel like I can't rate it 5 stars, but it still was super, super good. I don't know, y'all. I don't know what I'm gonna pick up next. I need to think about it. It's probably going to be a mystery. I might pull out the big guns and read A Thursday Murder, because I feel like if I'm going to rate anything 5 stars, it's probably going to be A Thursday Murder Club, right? Right? Now I'm questioning everything, because I'm like, do I rate books 5 stars? I don't know. Although I just finished Pride and Prejudice, which you would have already seen that vlog. So yeah, I do rate books 5 stars. I'll let you know, but I'm going to bed. Actually, I'm not going to bed. I'm watching a cozy mystery with my husband on the Hallmark Channel because we love them. End up picking up The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. It's so good. I'm about a third of the way through these characters. I don't want to finish this book because I've heard some things about something being sad and then people not being sure about like how they can continue on, and how the last book, like I've seen people bawling their eyes out, and all I have to say is I don't want anything to happen to them, to any of them, okay? So if you don't know what the Thursday Murder Club is, that is the first book in this series by Richard Osman. So if you don't know the premise, it's following this group of septuagenarians or octogenarians. Basically they're living in this retirement village type of situation. It's in England. They are trying to solve cold cases. They have a Thursday murder club where they meet in one of the rooms at this like retirement village to solve cold cases together, but they end up getting into more trouble than what they bargained for, because so far in each book someone actually does get murdered. Actually, no one's been murdered in this one yet, but they are looking into a cold case. So I literally love them so much. Ibrahim, Ron, Elizabeth, and Joyce, like, they're just so funny. They don't care who they please, who they displease. They just are who they are, and I absolutely love that. I have seen where people are like crying, I think, at the end of this book, or they're like, I don't know about the fourth one, I don't know, in alluding to like maybe something happening to one of them, which I'm like, that better not happen. Okay? I feel very strongly about this. It is giving me that 5-star feeling. I knew that it would. It's kind of my Hail Mary for this vlog. I think it's hilarious, but also interesting. wanted to give you an update on my reading. We're at my mom's house, by the way. We came over here because we needed out of the house, so you might hear my children or my mom. It's fine. Something I was thinking about when I was just sitting here reading is how interesting of a writing style this author has, because one minute it's hilarious, you're literally laughing out loud at what these characters are saying. They're so quirky, and I think the fact that they're older and they just don't care they just like are so funny. They're so funny, but then the next second you're like nearly in tears at quotes that he's putting in this book. Like, for instance, someone is asking Joyce how she fell in love with her husband, and she said, "Oh, I didn't fall in love with him. Nothing like that. I just walked into a room and there he was, and he looked at me and I looked at him, and that's all there was to it. Like, I had always been in love with him. No falling necessary. Like finding the perfect pairs of shoes." What? I just can't with this book, so I'm loving it, is the point. I'm pretty sure I got a package just now from someone that I didn't order it, basically is what I'm saying. I thought it would be fun to open it on here just in case, so let's do that. Here we go. Oh, Rachel! Oh my gosh, Rachel, what? Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. What is this? I think I know what it is, but I can't wait to open it. Aww. Oh, Rachel. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Do you hear that? Rachel. This is gonna make me cry. First of all, the fact that you are even sending me this at all, plus just the Lord's goodness. He's so good. He's so good. This is so nice. Oh my gosh, it says, "I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength," Philippians 4:13. And this cup is so pretty. Like, it's got that like frosted glass and a glass straw. Thank you, friend. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this. This was just such the sweetest thing. I just praise God for what he's doing in this community, and also what he's doing in your life, Rachel. And I feel like God is drawing a lot of people towards himself. I feel honored. I feel loved by God that I get to be a part of it at all, you know? So God is good. Well, is this gonna be the video that never ends? Because, friends, I am shooketh. I am shooketh. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say or how to feel. I did love this book, so let's just put that out there first. But did I feel the 5 stars? No, I didn't. And that is a fact that I have to admit. There were so many quotes in here, and so many times I was laughing out loud. I love the characters, but there were some parts in the middle that really seemed to drag. And it took me so long to read this book. I don't know why. Normally with these books, I like fly through them. But this one, it just took me a really long time. There were some dynamics with certain relationships. Like, okay, so there's like the 4 Thursday Murder Club, but then like there's some outside characters that come in and out. I guess what I'm saying is I want these 4 characters, Elizabeth, Joyce, Ron, and Ibrahim, to just be together. Not like in a relationship kind of a way, but in like a friendship. I just want them 4 to do everything together. My favorite scenes are when they're all together. This one of the characters was kind of off a lot and like wasn't really in the book as much as I was hoping they would be, but I did like the mystery. I liked the final reveal. I thought that that was really clever and good. I really liked it, but I just don't think I can give it 5 stars. This was my like Hail Mary. Okay? Like, this was my, okay, for sure this will be a 5-star. And it wasn't. I think I'm gonna give it a 4-star. I think it's a 4.25. So, no one is more shocked than me right now. Also, at the very end, there's an allusion to something that's gonna happen in the next book, I think. And no, absolutely not. These characters are 5 stars. This book series overall is a 5 stars, but it was just slow. I don't know, it just didn't capture my attention. I kept having to like tell myself to go read it, especially through the middle of the book. Towards the end, I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? What is happening? Sometimes I feel like these books have a lot going on, and I think this book just had too much going on. Like, there were a lot of characters. Sometimes when that happens, I'm like, who? Wait, what? And then I can't even remember who they're talking about. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to be honest. I'm really sad. I don't know what to tell you. I'm feeling kind of bummed. Feeling really bummed, actually. I don't know what I'm picking next. That was the Hail Mary book, right? Like, that was it. And here I am. I guess you'll see here in a second. Hopefully this vlog isn't literally 2 hours long. We'll see. This vlog is taking so long. This is always the entertaining one to watch, but not that entertaining to film, because you're like, when is this ever gonna end? And by you, I mean me. I am asking myself that. So we're gonna give a different kind of a book a try. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This book has been everywhere. Everyone and their dog loves it. I'm gonna dip my toe into this book and see if it's something that I think will be a 5-star, and then if it's not, I don't know what, you guys. All I know about this is that it's following a girl who's like 18. Her name is Iris. This is young adult fantasy romance, I think. There's like a mythological thread throughout this book too. And currently there's like a war happening between gods, I think. I don't fully understand it, but Iris's brother, who was older than her, kind of took care of her and her mom, went off to war because he listened to one of the gods' music and it like enchanted him to feel really passionate about going to fight for her. So he is gone and she hasn't heard from him. She is like writing these letters to him as if it were him, but not really, because she hasn't received any letters from him. And so she's just like kind of writing these letters to the void, if as it were. But she has this like seemingly magical wardrobe or something, because she just so happened to like slip one into this wardrobe, which I love, the wardrobe thing, Narnia. And when she opens the wardrobe again, they're gone. So she's like, I have no idea where they're going. And then we're also following a perspective of Roman, Kit. They are actually competing rivals at a paper, like a gazette. I think it's called The Gazette, in their town. They are competing for the position of reporter. They have like a rivalry, but you can tell they're attracted to each other, you know? You can tell. It's really good so far. I am like 15% in, but so far it feels like it could be 5 stars. Hopefully, because it's YA, it won't get too like sexually explicit. Hopefully there won't be any of that. I don't know, I'll keep you updated. The romance seems really cute to me. I can't remember if this is in the synopsis or not, but if it is, I'll just keep this clip in. Basically, when Iris writes her letters and puts them in the wardrobe and they disappear, they're actually going to Roman's wardrobe because his house is like enchanted, which I also love that, like the feel of it. Something tragic happened in his past. He mentioned that during that time when he was 15, the house would like make him dinners to comfort him and stuff. All that to say, I'm really liking it. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. I don't know what we'll do if this isn't a 5 star. It's even worse because all these books have been good. Like, I think well, I don't know. It might be a worse vlog if all the books I've read were like horrible, but they've been really good books. They just haven't felt like a 5 star. I don't know. Why did I do this vlog? If you can hear the AC, it's on because it's blazing hot in Oklahoma right now, and there's no way I'm gonna film this without AC, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to give you an update because I think the last time I checked in, it was like I had started this book, right? I ended up purchasing it at Half Price Books with my friend Bethany. Sometimes Half Price Books has like new books that are marked down like 20 or 30% off, but this was in like the actual half price section, and so I got it. It was like $8 or something like that. I didn't give you any updates because I could not put this book down. I literally couldn't put it down. I loved it so much. If I wasn't reading it, I had my Kindle. I had my Kindle like everywhere because I was like, I just need to know. I want to know what's gonna happen, what's gonna go on. And like her writing was so good. I loved the story. I just loved this book. However, this would happen to me where like 2 months of my reading has like, I haven't had any 5 stars. This is a strong 4.5, very strong. Honestly, if there weren't a few things in this book, I would give it 5 stars because I loved it so much. But there was a open door scene in this young adult book, and that really bothered me. To be quite honest with you, it really bugged me because I just don't think, this is my own personal opinions, okay? I think it's me being a mom too. I just hate that there's open door sex scenes in a young adult book. You know what I mean? Like there should be a line there. And that's my own opinion, and you don't have to agree, but that's what I feel. I also think that there were some other things in there that just bothered me, and they didn't have to be in there. It felt like this author like checked boxes to get published, and that sounds so harsh, but that's kind of what it felt like. Okay, it's a strong 4.5. okay, I loved it. I loved it. I will continue on. I'm a little bit nervous because there's a ton of people that have said the second book isn't as good, or they didn't like it as much as the first book, but I'm going to read it. And I think I am actually going to like the direction it takes, because I think where people feel less interested is the fact that it's like more heavy on the war aspect, but I honestly was actually really enjoying that part. So that's what I know about that. I have picked up another book because I honestly, when I finished Divine Rivals, I was like, am I gonna finish this vlog? Am I just gonna like scrap it and throw it to the wolves? I honestly don't even know what book number I'm on right now. Like I have no idea, like 6 or 7? I picked up If I'm Found by Terry Blackstock. This is the second book in the If I Run series. I'm reading this with a couple of friends, Rachel and Bethany, and it's one of those books that's really easy to fly through. Maybe it'll be 5 stars. Not getting my hopes up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not doing a good job of picking ones that are gonna be 5 stars. You know, I'm not doing a great job. Although most of them have been great books, like ones that I really like, but just haven't been 5 stars. So if you don't know what this is about, this is the second book in the series, so I won't like tell you the synopsis of this one, but the first one is about a woman named Casey, and she immediately, you know, she is on the run because she is scared that she's gonna get blamed or pinned for a murder of her friend. It starts out pretty strong, like she's at the scene of her friend who has been murdered. She has her DNA all over the place. She doesn't even like take time to clean up because she knows that she's going to be blamed for it. So she just literally runs. She's on the run. And then it's also following a man named Dylan who gets hired by the man who was murdered, his parents. Dylan was a family friend of the man who was murdered, like a childhood friend. He sees that things aren't as they should be in the police department, and it goes from there. But it's a Christian suspense, and I loved the first one. I loved it so much, and I loved the faith themes. I thought it was really awesome. I'm hoping but not too much, because it hasn't helped me thus far, you know? It hasn't. We'll see. I forgot how intense her stories get. I love it. I wanted to let you know though, there are some themes in here that I kind of wish I knew about before I jumped into it, but that was on me because I didn't look up reviews or anything like that. I don't want to say too much, but there's like a side suspenseful thing happening in both of these books where she sees something going on and she's like, how can I help these people? I'm on the run, but I can't just not help these people. If you don't want to know content warnings, head to this time marker. There is child abuse. It's not like on screen, but I would say it's pretty heavy, like with just the thoughts and feelings surrounding it. Abuse itself is never depicted on the page, but I don't know. It seemed more intense than the last book. Thoughts of suicide, attempted suicide, and conspiracy around that is also in this book. So I just wanted to let you know because I just kind of wish I had been prepared a little bit with just the content because it seems a little more intense than the last book. But I am really enjoying it. I'm hoping to finish this today and it's feeling like a 5-star. It's feeling like a 5-star, you guys. Whew, when I tell you how happy I am about that. Terry Blackstock's books so far have been so good and so bingeable. They're like so bingeable. I have another one of her book, like the first book in another series. It's like Cape Refuge or something, and it's like about an island or something, which I think is really interesting. Swimming, hence the swim cover up, but I just finished If I'm Found. And it is a, drum roll please, 5 stars. And I'm so happy. I am literally so happy because I did not know if we would ever get there. If we would ever make it to this moment. Thank the Lord in heaven, we made it. It's a 5 stars. I loved it so much. I heard that this was a romantic suspense, but so far in the book series, it like hasn't been existing. And so towards the end of this book, you see what is unfolding between 2 characters. I love it. It makes me so excited for the 3rd book. I want to pick it up like immediately. And I may do that. I love this book just as much as the first one, maybe a little bit more because, well, I don't know. I highly recommend. There are heavier themes, but I actually really love that she doesn't shy away from hard things that happen in people's lives, but she's bringing hope. I'm talking about the author. The author is like bringing hope in those darker spaces, and if you are watching at this point in the vlog, you're the real MVPs. We didn't know if it was going to happen. We just didn't know, but we made it. I got a 5 star. It was such a good 5 star. Like, I kept thinking, well, I could just rate this book 5 stars and be done with this vlog, but it's like, no, I need to be honest about my feelings. I'm so happy that I included this book, and I love the conversations around faith and the Holy Spirit and how even in darkness, he doesn't leave us. He helps us walk through really hard things. Sometimes hard things happen and he allows it, but he's always present. He never leaves us or forsakes us. We can be strong and courageous. He commands us to not be afraid because he's with us and he will not leave us. I'm probably going to be picking up the next one next, but you're not going to see that because I'm going to end this vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to hear what the last 5-star was for you and how long ago it was that you read that 5-star. I didn't think I was picky with my 5 stars, but I guess I am more picky than I thought. So I pray that the Lord would reveal his truth to you as truth, and that you will fall in love with his truth, and that it would be real and present, and it would hit you like a ton of bricks, but in a good way. And that he would open your eyes to see just his word, his life, what he's done for us, but also just the way in which to walk, and that you would walk in that. God doesn't make rules for us to follow because he likes to be a tyrant. He actually creates boundaries for us so that we can know how to live our best life, the most free and the most peace and joy and blessing, because he knows that in his presence there is fullness of joy. And that, my friends, is so true. And I pray that that becomes reality to you. In Jesus' name. Thank you again for watching. I guess that's it from me, friends. I will see you in my next one. Bye.